All right. Welcome everybody to 6WC in its 2025 iteration. You are currently watching round of 16 Pickems stream. For those who don't know what that is, last year we had this similar thing with those Pickems, but they are basically for just showing you guys which matches are worth noticing and just making you have a general understanding of what is happening in the tournament. And of course, after all, you will get to see what we think of the matchups and our own predictions of those matchups. And maybe we will be able to see some funny moments over here because last time, if those who know, we did have some really funny gifts with our predictions and pickhams. So yeah, this is basically it. We will go all the way from match 17 to match 32. So we will cover all the 16 round of 16 matches. And in the commentary booth, you have me, Philoxon, your festival organizer, and joining me today are gonna be Maiji and Sisyphus. So yeah, I guess we will start with Maiji. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's an honor to be here, and yeah, we'll try and not make this like a 2 hour long stream, because pick'ems do take a long time, especially with a round of 16 having one of the more amount of matches. But yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to some of these matches. We have some pretty interesting matches this week.
Yeah, definitely. Well said, Maiji. Thank you. And Sisyphus, what do you think about that entire stream?
Um, it's okay. Well, it's honestly, or it was a lot of fun. And I honestly am pretty glad to be here. It should be a lot of fun. I enjoy, trash talking these players. And I'm gonna
Okay.
hopefully continue to do so. Not really.
All right. Sounds great. But yeah, saying that, without further ado, I think we can start with our first matchup. We're firstly gonna cover all the losers bracket matchups, and then we will jump to the fun part, which is the main stage matches. But yeah, don't get me wrong, we will have some banger matchups even in the loser bracket. And the first one of them is gonna be Latvia versus Argentina, seed 32 versus seed 17. Of course, we have some really interesting players over here. In Latvia, you have Snappy, which is a very funny player. And in Argentina, you also have some really interesting players like Falvet. But I think since I was not commentating that match, I think you two have something more to say about those teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the matches where you're gonna see one of these hard carries coming out from Latvia. You have Black Diamond, who top 3 MC'd against the Philippines in a round of 32. So really strong player for Latvia. Just unfortunately not getting that kind of support that their teammates are getting. And on this Argentina side, you have people like Falwet who are like insane at tournaments and all around really strong. They have a lot of these really good support scores coming out from like people like Dante Scar, Disva, and stuff like that. So I think personally this is pretty Argentina favored on paper. Sisyphus, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, you're honestly not wrong. You see, and seeing everything, like from the qualifiers, very much points to this. As we see, it is an ocean of green here, favored towards Argentina in terms of qualifier seedings. You see, and as for Latvia, right, they're coming into this as seed 32. They came into the tournament like barely even making it into the major league. You see, and now. And this you see, this is honestly going to be a matter of whether or not the rest of Latvia like can actually reliably back him up. And you see like Argentina has ways to play kind of against him, or we see largely in the fact or I mean like that they have Axel here, or who's just a really good like low SR the guy's just really good on lower star in general, like slightly better. Like, but the guy's also just really good at kind of just the game. Or I mean, they also have seem like they have Diesel, you know, who's also just an insane in mechanics there in general. Like on top of, you know, as Maiji had mentioned, Falouette as well, just like actually insane tapping. You see, so I fully expect, you know, like number 2, DT2, DT3 to be especially Argentina favored. You see, and as we see in the in last week's
Okay.
or,
Yeah,
obviously that is exactly where
that's a
Doma
lot of
2,
info.
DT2, DT3 was played.
Yeah, man. So I think I will be on the same boat with you two guys, and I already gave the score regarding this matchup. I gave it 5-1 because just well considering Latvia only has one strong carry, which is Blake Diamond, who got top 32 in round of 32 matches, and then you have Falvet. If you compare those two, Falvet got top 4 in qualifiers individually and top 5 in round of 32. And of course, when it comes to support and just generally about all of those scores, Argentina is definitely having an advantage in this matchup just because of the seeding and of course all of the scores and all the support they have. But still, I'm gonna be on more of a believer side for Team Latvia, so 1 point for them out of mercy, and I believe this is gonna be for it. Yeah, this is gonna be it for me. And yeah, looks like Maiji, you agree the same, and Sisyphus just a sweep.
Like, I feel like it's the fact that like when it comes to Latvia supporting scores, the main issue is that they are like way too diverse in terms of, you know, like their best skills. Or obviously because the fact like you look at Galvin's or because like the main like two supporters in my opinion, or I mean like you have Galvin's, I mean, or like you have Shinzu Cleo. Galvin's is a lot more of an aim player. And and Shinzu Cleo is a lot more on tapping. Like they just don't have like they kind of get it's and Argentina is a lot more diverse. You know, they actually can cover a lot of slots. It's just
Okay.
not looking good for Latvia.
Yeah, okay. I guess then this is gonna be a general consensus for this matchup. And I believe after that we can just jump right away to match ID 18, which is gonna be Norway versus Netherlands. That's actually the match that we are commentating today at 19 UTC. So gonna be really interesting to see what we think about this matchup. Don't mind my match score right now because this is still a matchup from the last round. But yeah, this is definitely a matchup that I am looking for, and I believe all of you should also watch because, well, first of all, you have Norway. I believe Maiji was the one interviewing them, and well, Norway was like so hyped up about this matchup against Team Netherlands. They said they would crush them, all that. They have Mr. Wrong, they have NG26, very very dynamic duo from both of them. Also High Bunny on the support, and some of the newcomers are here. While on the other hand, you have Netherlands who played against Canada last match. I believe they even managed to take 1 point off of them. And of course, after all, you have those seedings, C25 versus C24. So on paper, this even might go to tiebreaker. And I just must mention one more player, which is Dane, who got top 3 individually in round of 32. So definitely gonna be a great rivalry between Dane and NE26, who is just extremely consistent when it comes to that low SR grind. So I think I will still go for the win on the side of Team Norway, and I'm gonna put them at 5-4 because, as I mentioned before, I think this is gonna be one hell of a matchup, and let me know what you guys think. Maiji?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely gonna be like if one of the closest, if not the closest match, in this lower bracket. You have these players like Dene who specifically number 2 in the individual stats, and I'm not sure if that got hella boosted by them FCing TB with insane accuracy on Nomad, but them getting 976k on the TB, but they played it for fun, you know, so I'm not sure if their stats got boosted by that, but they did get really high match costs in their match against Canada. And the unfortunate thing is I think Norway just have a bit more better support. Like players like Mr. Wong, Andy, and Haibane. Haibane showing an insane performance in the last round in the round of 32. And I'm not sure if the Netherlands have that same kind of support that Norway do, but if I had to decide, I think I'm gonna go with what you went here and just go 5-4 for Norway. But it could go
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, sounds good. And Sisyphus, you put 5-3.
Yeah, okay. So damn near every single pick here is really contested. You see, and that's kind of expected here. Or I mean, see, because you have seeds 25 against seed 24. This is going to be a very close match, but I honestly believe that Norway, or let me see, like, I believe that Norway will, in fact, take this, see, without having to risk that tiebreaker. And it's actually in the fact, or let me see, like, despite the Netherlands having Dane, or let me see, Dane absolutely popped off. Dane, it's like genuinely an insane player. Or see, and the same thing goes for Nyanya Mao. With Norway, they have Andy 26. They have these are two players that need absolutely no introduction. Like when it comes to just tournaments, like especially at fairly higher levels. On top of the fact that Haibane, let me see, as was mentioned before, you see he's also able to to back up, you see, both Wu Wang and Andy very well. And Norway, coming into this, has a huge favor when it comes to free mods, and that is the biggest thing in my opinion. Basically guaranteed to win if the Netherlands don't decide to ban that away. And like with everything else being really contested, I really do believe that Norway just should be able to avoid a tiebreaker.
Okay, I see everyone in the commentary booth are fucking Norway believers. No one voted for Netherlands, even though when you look at qualifiers, they actually have evened out the number of maps they played better than one other. So yeah, 6 for Norway, 6 for Netherlands. So even though we made those predictions, guys, never be sure that it will come out as that. Maiji even put 5-5, which is crazy. Oh, 4-5. Okay, my bad. Maiji
Okay,
switching.
there we go.
Okay, Maiji switch sides. Okay, guys.
Maiji being the Dutch believer.
I'm changing my vote mainly because I forgot that whenever looking at this pool, specifically some of these maps are a lot more tapping, and players like Andy are not tapping players, and I think tapping is well-rounded towards Netherlands, and I think that can favor them during this round, and I think that will give them an upper hand. Especially with this Hard Rock 1 in the pool, Hard Rock being Andy's main skill set, and the Hard Rock 1 being a stream map, I don't think that's going to favor Norway in any way possible, and I think that's where Netherlands are going to be able to steal a point unless Norway ban that out. So
Yep.
that's just my thoughts on it.
Oh, fair enough. You've got a point. To find out who, yeah, whoever of us was right, just make sure to join this stream because Norway and Netherlands are playing today at 19 UTC. So be there, be with us, and see the outcome of the matchup. But yeah, without further ado, I believe we can start with another matchup. Move on. It's gonna be match ID 19, which is Colombia versus Lithuania. I'm really getting confused with those flags. I literally, first of all, I thought it's the same country playing against each other. So yeah, good thing it's not it actually. And regarding the seeding, seed 20 versus seed 29, by qualifier results, it's actually not that big of a difference according to the qualifier results. But just because of round of 32 is 5 SR pool, I believe we should more compare the resource from that round, since it's more close to round of 16 matchups and round of 16 pool. And when looking through those, I believe I believe Colombia even did a bit better than Team Lithuania, because all of those maps that they played, that both of the teams played, Colombia did way better. But on the other hand, you have a carry in the face of Colden Ellis, who got top 8 in the round of 32 by stats. So I'm honestly not sure. I think it could go either way. But just because of the fact I'm more familiar with Cold Analysis game, I will vote for Lithuania. What do you think, Maiji?
I do agree with you. I feel like Colombia, as a team core, I feel like they do have a really big advantage. Even taking off a point against Taiwan on a map nobody thought that Colombia would be taking a point on the hidden one, and it was indeed Taiwan's pick. And Colombia has shown that they do have the ability to combo game, and I feel like combo game in a 4v4 format is just so important, and I think that might give an Umber edge against Colombia. But if this match does go to TB, I feel like it might favor Lithuania because I feel like players like Colden Ellis do have that capability to FC a tiebreaker. And FCing a TB will definitely skyrocket their team score if Colombia is not able to FC. So I feel like I want to agree with you on the 5-4 for Lithuania, but I'm gonna go opposite from you and go 5-4 for Colombia here just because of the
Wow.
stronger team,
Ooh.
just because of the stronger
Ooh.
team core.
Okay. And then to separate Sisyphus, what
All
are your
right.
thoughts about the matchup?
All right. All right. 1-1 here. Floxen going Lithuania, Maiji going Colombia. And this is honestly another very hard decision to make here. However, this might be slight bias on my end, but Colden Ellis is an absolutely insane player on Lois R. This guy can because of the fact that in their last match, because in their last match, because in the last match, Colton Ellis basically perma lobbied. Well, he literally perma lobbied, and this guy still did insanely well, and he will continue to do so. Against Colombia, a fairly weaker opponents. Than their first, and I believe that this will allow Colton Ellis, to absolutely carry his team against Colombia here, because Colombia because Colombia, they're not a bad team by any means. They're league for a reason. But when faced with such a carry like Colton Ellis, on top of the fact that they do have some pretty solid supporting scores here, I'm off the back of Alan Amar, and Lich. I am honestly a Lithuania believer here. You see that higher qualifier seed is for a reason.
Okay.
And for that,
Yeah.
5-3.
What is it?
5-3.
5-3. Okay, I see. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, those are
TB
your
version.
Pickems.
Another TB version.
Okay, I see. Makes sense. But yeah, with that, we will be moving on to our next matchup, which is actually going to be one of the more interesting ones, which is going to be United Kingdom versus Chile. And oh boy, am I excited for that matchup. United Kingdom, the country that used to be one of the strongest countries throughout the all of the 6WC series, getting second seed, third seeds, and qualifiers. Now, unfortunately, fallen off, getting seed 28, but still putting up a good fight against Team Russia. They even managed to take 1 point off of them, which was DT1. So, still, when it comes to consistency, United Kingdom is really intimidating when it comes to those. And while on the other hand, you have Team Chile, which has Kirk, Ambra Brigida, who is a crazy easy player. Same for Tigado, Solheim, Avonao, who are really good core players. United Kingdom does still have a chance. Just comparing those round of 32 stats, I believe by pool stats and leaderboards, they were a bit lower. I believe Chile was still higher than them. So yeah, I would still say that I'm gonna take the side of Chile right here, but I'm pretty sure United Kingdom might make an upset right here. So if I'm wrong, then guys, you can make memes of me, but I will go with 5-3 in favor of Chile.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to 100% disagree with you on this and go
Thank
5-4
you.
for the UK. And I'm not saying this because Chile is not a bad team whatsoever. They do have that higher seed in qualifiers, but I feel like this United Kingdom team is really strong on that low SR. And if you look at one of the players on this United Kingdom roster, you have Fopdoodle, who is like, those who know the memes, the baby dragonfire. Um,
No
and
way.
Fopdoodle got #1 match cost against Russia in their match last week. And even though they lost, they did get top MC and they got really high in stats as well. And you also have some of these experienced tournament players like Bigfoot, who is someone that I completely have to mention, really strong on the gimmick and the hidden. And there's a lot of players on this UK roster who are very strong on mechanics and very strong on LSR. And I think UK just have a really solid core here. And I think with the carry of Fopdoodle, they're gonna win this match 5-4.
Yeah, Sisyphus?
Okay, first, or I'm gonna go first off. Maiji, you absolutely love these tiebreakers, don't you? I swear to God. um, however, however, I do have to agree here though. The UK, okay, or okay, again, there's also, yeah, again, this is bias here on my end, or let me see. Or see, the thing is like I'm biased both ways. Or let me see, because the fact that like Bigfoot and Ghost are absolutely just amazing people in general.
Uh,
Ghost is a good friend of mine, dude. But Amber Brigito, genuinely one of the best easy players in the rank range. See, in my opinion, the best easy hidden player in the rank range. Like Amber Brigito, absolutely insane on that regard. Just insane on the mod in general. Or like on top of the fact that they. So both teams do have or like both teams do have like very solid players on each end, but I personally believe in the UK. See, purely because of the fact, or there's a player you see that that neither of you mentioned, and it's Isaac JSY.
okay.
And I believe that Isaac is worth mentioning here. You see, because of the fact, you see that during 6WC, Isaac has the potential to absolutely pop off when it, especially on like more tapping heavy maps, and this is a very tapping heavy pool. This this pool does have a fair bit of tapping, and I believe that this will allow for Isaac to actually like have these insane pop off moments, or like, and I don't really see like Chile can in fact take plenty of points easy, especially on these more gimmicky picks. Or let me see, because the fact that the UK is largely relying on Bigfoot gimmicky picks. But besides that, I am a UK believer through and through, and for that, I'm honestly gonna go just slightly biased,
Okay.
but 5-2 here.
What is it?
5-2.
5-3?
Slight bias here.
Okay.
5-2
Alright.
UK.
Yeah, looks like Sisyphus and Maiji are believing in the experience that Team UK has. We will see how this goes. We will find out in a couple of days. Of course, all of the matches are gonna be streamed, so you will be able to watch whichever you like. But with that, we will be moving on to our fifth matchup, which is gonna be Italy versus India. A really tricky matchup, I would say. India lost to Germany in round of 32. Italy lost to Team Indonesia. But when you're looking at both of the teams, you realize that even though Italy is seed 31, they have one super strong carry, which is Sayuri, who performed really well in both qualifiers and round of 32. Unfortunately, didn't get enough support. And when you look at Team India, they definitely did better by stats of round of 32 comparing to Team Italy by a bunch. And because of that, I would give Team Team India a 5-2 win. Because once again, I'm on more of a believer side for those lower seeded countries. So I will believe in Sayuri's carry, and we will see how this goes. But yeah, Maiji, take it away.
Yeah, Philox, and I don't want to completely crush your theory, but I did do a pre-match interview with Siri, and they are actually not playing this match. So I don't know if that changes your
What?
prediction.
Bro.
They are on a cruise ship in I believe Finland. So they are not playing this match. And even if they were playing this match, I feel like this India roster is just way too strong with players like Noxilium and Lomane, who absolutely dominated in round of 32. Even if they lost, they did really well. They just unfortunately didn't have as strong as a team core as Germany. And
No.
you also have some of these players like Churf who are really strong as well. But I personally think this might end up in a sweep the first time that I don't go for a TV here. Mainly just because Seri is I agree with you, Seri is the strong core player of this team, but with them not playing, I think that just favors India way too much.
Okay. Okay. I guess Sisyphus don't have much to add, or do you?
Oh, what was I saying?
Like, do you have any objections? Oh my god, I cannot speak. My bad. Any
Dude,
objections
absolutely
to
not
what?
at all.
Absolute
Absolutely not
no.
at all. Like, or because the fact, like, when you look at
Okay.
these
Okay.
India
I
players,
guess.
right? Or okay, because the fact that when you look at these India players, or like, it's also the fact that Bounce is also on this team, or I'm seeing
Hmm.
Bounce is also like a very good, like tapping focused player. See, like this guy can basically play any mod. We don't talk about the
Oh.
we did not expect him to play this Hard Rock 1, sadly, obviously because it is a stream map. This guy loves tapping, but but dude, this India team is like it's a shame that this India team is in losers bracket, and I fully expect a very good run from them, like from here on out. And it is just sad, that like the Italy, like without Sierra is
Hmm.
just put up against like such a strong team, like first round of losers. This is very unlucky for them.
All
Yeah,
right. I
I
see.
would like
Yeah.
to add,
Hmm.
Noxilium got number 2 match cost against Germany, despite losing.
Hey
Unfortunately,
yo.
really followed up by Churf getting number 4 in the match, and as well as Lomane. So like they have these core players, and even with Bounds not playing in round of 32, this team still did really good. So I think if Bounce and another player plays this match, I feel like they just have this upper hand, unfortunately, against this really new experienced team into the
All right.
6-digit World
Right.
Cup.
Fine. Fine. I get it, guys. um. Yeah. Hopefully for Team Italy, they will be able to show up for the match. If not, then yeah, unfortunately a sweep potential. If not even an FF, but. With that, we'll be getting in the other matchup in the next one, which is your Hong Kong versus Belarus match, the one that I'm really excited about. Both of the teams are really good. Hong Kong took 1 point off Ukraine, which were seed 7. Belarus take 2 points off Team Kazakhstan, which were seed 10. And I think comparing those two countries, there is not a lot of maps that they have in common. Only Nomad 2, DD2, DD3, and Free Mod 1. Um, yeah, Belarus seems more stronger on the tapping side if you look at DD3. But then on the other hand, when you just take a glance at Noma 2, you will realize that it's kind of RNG for them. But I think generally speaking, Belarus was more close and winning their match against Kazakhstan than Hong Kong was when trying to win their match against Ukraine. Therefore, I think Belarus has better chance of winning that round of 16 match for them, especially as they have Amur, they have Laggers. Those two carries are really scary. They have Amamiya Mitoro. Those players played 6 EC. They are very experienced by Hong Kong. Of course, they have Kitio, super strong player, but still, I don't think, frankly, this is gonna be enough for them. And I'm gonna put Belarus as the winner of this matchup, 5-2.
Okay, so this is a really close match compared to some people think. If you look at this Hong Kong roster, you have people like Kidio and ILY0 who are absolute the two carries of this team without a doubt. But unfortunately with Belarus, I think they just have a stronger team core. And you have people like Laggers and Amur, like they had higher match costs than the Kazakhstan roster. Like they got number 1 and 2 in match costs, even when they lost, unfortunately. We did not see Amamiya Mitoro, in the last match as well, and we've seen a really good performance from Monreal. And I think just because of the stronger team core from Belarus, I think they're gonna win this 5-3.
Okay. And Sisyphus?
Yeah, I have to just completely agree here. 5-3, favoring Belarus. Or I'm seeing it's because of the fact that Hong Kong is a 6-player team, and that is just very unlucky, like on their behalf. Or I mean, because of the fact this Hong Kong team, like its last two slots could genuinely be insane here. IY0, like IY0 and Kiddio are two like very good players, or almost like as Matthew mentioned, genuinely insane players. They like if they had better support, like see then Hong Kong genuinely could have gotten like a few more points, compared to Ukraine. But unfortunately they just don't have the support that Belarus has. And I just or because the fact that like Hong Kong will and well, yeah, I'm like beyond that, everything else is a huge coin flip, like in just basically anything except for Hard Rock, which Belarus hard clears them on, in my opinion. And like beyond that, everything's very coin flippy, and I just believe that Belarus has this, especially on such a low SR pool.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we have a general consensus over here, which is kind of rare. But still, let's jump right to our second to last losers bracket matchup, which is gonna be, I believe, yeah, this is your Switzerland versus Japan matchup. Japan, a team who almost managed to make an upset against Team Brazil, who were seed 15, and they were really close of getting that. Got 5-3. They have some crazy core players like Dot Sepia, their captain, who in round of 32 got two top one placements, one on Nomad 1, one on Nomad 4. I've seen both really great consistency from the player. And when we are looking at the team scores, yeah, Team Brazil is top 15, and yeah, Team Japan is top 19. So it was really close, not only on paper but in the actual match. While if you are looking at Team Switzerland, they didn't do that great. It's just top 30 in round of 32 that they got. And yeah, the average score difference is really huge. It's around half of a million score actually. So I think this one is going to be more of a one-sided match than all the previous ones, as in my opinion. So I would put them at 5-1.
I mean, actually.
Yeah, so I feel like the Switzerland roster, unfortunately, they just didn't have their full roster at some of these matches, but if they get their full roster, like this Switzerland team is a little bit underrated in this losers bracket, mainly because of these two core carries, Seven Sorta and Vapsme, two players to keep your eye on out here during this match. But I think Japan just have a way stronger team core all around. As we can see, they won most maps. I mean, Switzerland unfortunately didn't play as long as a match, but Japan, they have that free mod advantage as well as a hidden advantage. Even with Seven Sorta and Vapsme being really strong on hidden, I just think Japan will take this, and I think I'm gonna have to agree with Philoxen's 5-1.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Sisyphus?
yeah, 5-1 across the board. You see from the looks over here, and it honestly makes sense here. You're looking at Japan. Like everyone on this team is a genuine contributor. Like and see, like and see, and I love to see it. See, like, especially because the fact that Yukiyama is absolutely insane. Or Yukiyama, especially on these gimmick gear picks, this guy can absolutely crush them. See, especially on these lower SR. Or like on top of the fact that like the diff she good like Earl Grey like in Mugank or and like in Miski Minx, this Japanese team is very well rounded. They cover so many bases that Switzerland really doesn't have the luxury of, and that honestly Japan should blow this one out of the water in my opinion. But the Swiss can absolutely find, you see, like a few picks or maybe even a match if they practice well enough. I fully believe in it though.
All right, and yeah, everyone is voting on the same predictions here, on the same outcomes. So, without further ado, I believe we can finally finish our losers bracket with the next last matchup of that bracket, which is actually Spain versus France. A very interesting matchup, I must say. Um, yeah, I believe when we were doing the prediction stream for Team Spain, we didn't put them really high, but still here they are, and that now they are gonna be playing against Team France, who put up a really great fight against Team Spain. Not Team Spain, but against Seed 11, which was Team Vietnam. Almost brought it to tiebreaker, was just a bit unlucky at the end for them. And doing something like that against Seed 11 team is really strong, especially considering they did not have Momonagi, their core gimmick player, their best gimmick player on the team. Spain, on the other hand, for most of the matchups, they for quals and for round of 32, I believe they had all of the players, and just potentially, I believe this is gonna be a more of a France favorite matchup, not just because of the seeding, but just because of the potential that they have, the hidden potential. Momonagi didn't participate in quals nor round of 32. If he participates here, I believe they are gonna win not only that match, but I believe potentially even the next one. So it's not a clear win for Team France. I still think Spain will put up a great fight, but in my opinion, gonna be 5-2.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. France, really underrated team here, just didn't have Momonagi during qualifiers and around a 32. They are IRL busy, I believe. And I put 5-1 on the last match, and I'm gonna have to keep that prediction for this one. I'm gonna have to keep 5-1 in the favor of France, mainly because of these players like Green Melon, who absolutely carried their team, getting number 1 match cost overall against Vietnam. And I feel like with a core player like that, I don't think Spain stand a chance, especially with France having a really strong core as well, with really good support. So yeah, what are you thinking here, Sisyphus?
Okay. So in my opinion, it entirely depends on whether or not Momonagi will be in attendance here. Obviously, so without him showing up, I say 5-3. And it's purely in the fact, you see that Spain is inherently a much stronger DT team. You see, and France can only ban away one DT map, or actually wait, or actually, can't they double pick? I actually forget.
Yeah.
Is or okay? Oh, exactly. All right, perfect then. Okay, perfect. Then. See, that's already 2 free points to Spain there, in my opinion. Or see, because the fact Spain in general is better at DT, and we see it here in the qualifier stats. Spain did a lot better in DTs 1 and 2, and DT 3, France won, but like by a very small margin there. You see, and with that, or see with that, you see like with France only being able to ban away one of the DTs, like see that's basically 2 free points there towards Spain. Or on top of the fact, like without Imomonagi here, Spain is better on gimmick than RBC because the fact that Momonagi makes up a large amount of France's gimmick abilities. So I do believe 5-3 towards Spain, and see like they can honestly force a tiebreaker if the cards turn in their favor. Like see, especially because the fact that we're actually getting a lower AR no mod 5 this time. So this could be 5-4. It could even be 4-5 in the favor of Spain.
Okay, yeah,
This
well
really
said.
could go either way.
And now, yeah, looks like a general consensus over here once again. But now the things will get interesting as we are gonna be finally jumping to the main break, to the upper break, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we will start the first match of those with the villains of our story, which is gonna be Team Philippines facing off Team Australia. Oh my god, Seed 1 versus Seed 16. And let's be honest, what can we even say here? I know Ichinami is a very strong player, getting top 10 by individual stats in quals, perma-lobbing every map, one of the strongest control players. I believe even outscored Zerilia on that hidden one from Qualls. He does have some support, but when you look at the left side of the screen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there is much things needed to be introduced, and um, I just don't know. It's Camus Marco, it's Hushin, it's June. You know every one of them, every one of those. It's Ziggs and Zavi, and just unfortunately for Team Australia, they're a strong team, but I think against Team Philippines, this is not gonna be enough at all, obviously. And I'm putting them at a sweep. Australia will win 5-0, so okay, let's go next.
Yeah, I mean, the Philippines has support outside of them playing the map. Like, they have players who can support, like, these people can play any map, and you know, you got like Junior Igami, you have the AFC Zanaru, nobody knows. You got Zavi and Zix, who are like the two core players of this team, and literally everyone else on this Philippines roster is like almost an all-rounder except for Raijin, who's really specified on the gimmick. In there with Junior Igami, two really strong gimmick players, and then the rest of this roster is just really strong. But on this Australia roster, you know, you have these core players like Ichinami and Moshung, and Sorax as well, who shown really good performances last round. But I mean, once you're going against Seed 1, I mean, for those who looked at the Brazil team last year, just refer yourself to they're kind of like Philippines is the Brazil team this year, if I had to be honest. Like, they are the God Squad. They have the really strong roster, and they had really good scores in round of 32 despite missing like three of their strong players and June playing tapping. So like, I'm just gonna have to go 5-0 for Philippines. I'm sorry, Australia, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, guys. I mean, realistic scenario: Philippines are getting swept. They fall in loser bracket and then just don't show up for the next match, and this is how Team Australia moves on. But anyway, Sisyphus, I'm seeing that 5-0 from Team Philippines over here. Skip? Okay, let's skip. Then, I think enough glazing.
There's really something to say about this.
Alright, then fair enough. Enough glazing. And the next matchup is actually gonna be probably one of the most hype ones, because it's gonna be Seed 8 versus Seed 9. Team Poland versus Team Canada. What can I say about that? Well, first of all, it's your classical consistency versus solo carry high SR potential matchup. Because in consistency, you have Poland that has just absolutely super experienced team. Xabe, a player, a captain, a brilliant captain who managed to get Poland the second place in 6WC3, losing just only against Team USA. He is a returning player, same for Itnes, also a runner-up of 6WC3. You have Kurtuba, Addict, Properly, Cuba, all of those, they have played 6EC. You have Tianling, who finally DK'd to the rank range. Once again, the only issue with Team Poland that I'm seeing is that general skill cap, but as we're speaking, this is only 5.1 SR pool. And even though Canada has Herald, they have Kaidori. Those two are super strong, high skill cap players. I think the consistency and the stability is gonna be the key in this matchup. And because of that, I'm gonna put Poland as a winner of this matchup. Although I think it's gonna be really close, but still, Poland will win, in my opinion, for 5-3 match coast. Not match coast, but match score.
Okay, so
match cost, absolutely.
Before I dive into this, I want every Canadian to know there is non-bias in here. I am a Canadian. There is no bias at all, okay? I am strictly going off of stats, okay? So first, I just want to talk about the pool being more tapping. And you have these players like Harold and Kaidori, who are strong tapping players, as well as Falba, who has really good support. Toro still learning tapping. But unfortunately, Poland does have a stronger tapping core compared to Canada. But, since it is low SR, I could see Canada pulling something through. And Philoxen, you did talk about Xabe and how Poland got number 2 in 6WC3, but we don't talk about how they got carried by a 4-digit multi-account named Kesha.
Wait, that's a topic for the
Yeah,
other
Okay,
day.
that's a
okay.
topic for
Those
another day.
those who know.
That's a those who know moment. Yeah, we don't talk about Kesha, really funny guy. Thanks for ruining that year. But
Okay.
anyways, yeah, if I had to say Canada, I mean, we see that number 1 Fremont too, and I think Canada is gonna get some good points on these Fremont maps, and as well as these Hard Rocks. I feel like these Hard Rock maps are going to be Canada favored, with it being low SR, and I'm gonna have to go. This is gonna be a TB match. Either team can win, and I'm gonna spin a wheel right now, but Sisyphus, you go and talk about your thoughts.
First off, Canada is in my opinion the best Fremont team, or the second best Fremont team coming into this tournament. Or we see it's largely off of the back, or it's largely off the fact that they have like really good hard rocks. Like this is a team that has Nixie, to cover easy at every single level on basically every. The free mods are immediately favored towards Canada, in my opinion. See, and we see that in last week's stats. Or see, on top of the fact that gimmick in general is, or see, on top of the fact that gimmick in general is slightly more Canada favored, in my opinion. Or see, with the sole exception of Hidden 2, or because I do know, that like Nixie particularly is not the most comfortable when it comes to just low A or hiddens, or like despite Nixie, still being very good at it. Just not his. Or but Poland in general is if it is an absolute demon roster, especially on low SR. Or because the fact that like everyone on this team is really good at low SR except for Tianling. And you see that's 7 like you have 7 insane low SR players. You see compared to Canada 6 or you see because Kadori and Harold or like you said they're both really good at the game. You see like this also applies to Tianling. But they find random misses. However though, as Maiji did mention though, this is a tapping heavy pool. And Kidori SS Nomad 2 last week, so I do feel like that is also something worth mentioning. Like when it comes to an accuracy check, I do feel like Canada is more favored on those, or like especially when it comes to tapping in general. So
Right.
it really is such a close matchup. It's very hard to call this.
Mhm.
But I'm slightly biased towards the Polish, or you see, because I am dating a Pole myself, so I will have to say Poland 5-4.
Yo, lore drop. Sisyphus
All right.
lore drop.
After the Sisyphus lore drop,
I am dating a Pole, so or let me see. So I do have to say, Poland
Okay.
5-4. Polska Gudom. Polska
after
Gudom.
the Sisyphus lore drop, I can come out and say that the Wheel of Names chose Canada. You can go look in general chat. I sent the photo. Philoxen's seen it, and yeah, I'm gonna be the
Got
odd
photo
man out
evidence.
here saying Canada wins. I'm Canadian, but there's no bias, okay? And I would like
We-
to address about Kdori. Like they are a skill cap player, but they are very consistent on LSR. Touchscreen player moment. Anyways, yeah, let's get
Yeah.
into the next match, Philoxen. You
Okay.
take
Yeah.
that.
Let me switch it really quick. Match ID 27, which is okay. How about
Okay.
we just skip this one and move on to the next one? Okay. Jokes aside, um, we will only, of course, talk about the teams. Yeah, as a friendship rivalry here. What can we say about those two? Taiwan, an absolute dark horse of the tournament, getting seed 4 in qualifiers. Definitely no one expected that pop off from them. Doesn't seem like they have any struggles with round of 32 pool, getting top 5 in teams match coast. And then you have Team China, who actually even outperformed Team Taiwan in the round of 32. So I'm assuming when it comes to low SR, China is as strong as Team Taiwan. And this is going to be really interesting to watch. The match is going to get streamed, so definitely this is one of your most closest matchups, I believe, that we are going to be seeing. When it comes to performance scores, so we will get to know our carries. For Team China is going to be Jack Gu, who got top 9 by individuals. And Team Taiwan, it doesn't seem, even from qualifiers, it didn't seem like they had some really crazy standout players, but it's just that they have that core lineup. They have 4 or 5 consistent players who they put on for almost every map, and usually they do good. So it's definitely a coin flip matchup for me. Might even see an upset over here, but I'm not sure. And you know, I I'm always like in a more favored side of those dark horse teams that not everyone knows, that no one in fact knows, and Team Taiwan is gonna be one of those that I believe is gonna make some miracles. So I will put them as a win, 5-4 in their favor.
Yeah, I kind of put in my prediction pretty early, and you mentioned that no one was expecting Taiwan to do good this year. But I told everybody that I knew that Taiwan was a sleeper team, and nobody believed me up until
You
the
knew.
qualifier results. And you did mention that there aren't too many standout players, which I do agree, but I do want to mention, what the hell, bro, getting top 3 individual in the round of 32 last week. And they did lose a map against Colombia, which was just like a low SR gap in my opinion. And no bias, I've played with What the Hell Bro, and they are so consistent at every single skill set on low SR, and they have these really good what's it called, support players like Ro16, who is really strong as well. And if we see Runic Fountain as well playing this match, because they did not play in round of 32, I think Taiwan will be able to dominate a lot harder. And you have some of these other players, like the Star and Xeria, who are really strong on Taiwan as well, but Runic Fountain being one of the really strong LSR players. And I know, if we look at qualifiers here, it looks super Taiwan favored, but I don't think China can be underestimated at all, with players like Jack Gu and Creep doing really good last round. So I'll change my vote to 5-3, but I still think this is Taiwan favored. But this could go to China if they play out of their minds.
Fair enough. And Sisyphus, looks like you actually have a different opinion on that. Explain
I'm
your
a China.
position.
Okay. I'm a China believer here. You see, and it's purely because of the fact. We see that China, like, okay, so okay, so China, like, you see, in qualifiers, did not look solid, and that it, or see, I'm gonna see that compared to Taiwan, they only won, or see, they only did better on 3 maps. No one won DD2, DD3. However, let me see. However, when you look at China's match against Lithuania, um or let me see, we saw like some very very good play here, large, or see, because of the fact that, like, we saw or Yuan Creep, and like Sour Gu, Abaddon, like everyone on this China team is genuinely very very good, like especially on low SR, or because we saw them triple FC Hard Rock 2 last weekend. um so or yeah, and we also see, like, this is a great Fremont 2 team, seeing like they're also a fairly solid low AR team in general. So China is a very good low SR team. So I honestly believe that they expect to actually get this fairly large upset here. A double digit seeding here going against the seed for Taiwan. I believe in China here.
Okay.
Or it's like, I believe in, see, like, I believe in Creep, to just absolutely pop off this match.
I would like
Okay.
to add real quick that, if you guys do look at the round of 32 statistics, China did get number 3 team score, meaning that out of the 32
Mhm.
teams, they were the third who played the highest, and Taiwan got, I believe, number
Exactly.
5. But I think with Taiwan having their full roster, which they didn't in round of 32, I think if they bring their full roster to the table, I think this is just going to be a Taiwan win. But, you know, China do have that potential with it being low SR and it favoring a lot of these players like Jack Boo and Creep, as we mentioned. So, yeah, that's I'm going to keep my 5-3.
I see. But yeah, guys, very exciting matchup, which is gonna be happening, I believe, on Saturday. But yeah, regardless of that, let's finish our first four matches of the upper bracket with our match ID 28, which is gonna be Russia versus Singapore. Another really interesting matchup on papers, as Singapore is one of the strongest consistency teams. They get top 2 on DT1, they get top 2 on Nomad 1 in qualifiers. And those two seedings just made them look extremely strong on those just generic aim type of maps. If we take a look at round of 32, they actually didn't do bad at all. Comparing to Russia, Russia getting seed 10 and Singapore itself getting seed 12. So when it comes to Losar, I would say it's such a coin flip matchup. Russia on the other side, they still showed that they are not worse than Singapore when it comes to Nomad 1 by getting that top 1 in round of 32 on Nomad 1, as we are seeing in front of our screens. Um, but you know what? I I just know that Russia did not have Whiskas and Artesum in their round of 32 matchup. I believe with Whiskas and Artesum, those are two of the really strong players. Artesum, the MVP of 6EC minor league. I think with those, they would be even higher in the ranking. But still, Singapore will take a couple of points in my opinion. So the outcome of the matchup is going to be 5-2 on the side of Russia for me.
Yeah, and before we get into Phlox and Sisyphus copying my vote, hint hint, I'd like to mention the very funny Russia collab of Warcry. That's a 6EC those who know moment. But
Both.
the reason why I am going 5-2 here is because you have a player on Singapore named Cochendetta who played Singapore A team last year and is a very strong gimmick carry. And I think Singapore will be able to take some of these potential free mod maps and hidden maps unless Russia bans them out. But I think those are some of the very few picks that Singapore will be able to take here. And even without some of the players like Whiskas and Ardosum, I think it's still going to be 5-2 for Russia. Russia just has a really strong team core this year. And yeah, that's just my thought on it. Sisyphus, why did you change your vote to 5-1?
Okay, so okay,
He's special.
looking at
He
this
wanted to be
matchup,
different.
They didn't want to be like us.
that too, or Omikil that, and also the fact that like putting more thought into it, right? Singapore as a country, you see, at least compared to Russia, realistically speaking, they only really win on aim. Nomad 1, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, DT 1, yada yada. Or we see, and Russia gets to ban away 2 of them, so that leaves Singapore, with only 2 maps they can win on, or I'm saying that's excluding free mod because of the fact that Russia is a better free mod team in general. You see, so you're only left with 2 aim, you're only left with 2 aim maps for Singapore to maybe win on. Or we see, that when you look at last week's stats, Russia got number 1 on Nomad 1.
Yep.
As Singapore, you don't really have too many options, in terms of what you see, in terms of the maps that you can pick, that you are. Russia is a very, very strong lowest team, or because it's like largely in the fact they have like Obsolete, Dark, and Sosodov, and Shusha, who are all genuinely lowest demons. On top of the fact that Yaku and Artisum are also both really good players in general, or it also applies to Iamisaki. Like, Russia is just better at everything that is not aim. You see, when it comes to like higher SRs, you see like 1.1, I don't see how Singapore can really win two aim maps in a row against Russia. When Russia just gets to ban, like the other two aim maps. This is not going to be very easy for Singapore to win on.
Sounds reasonable, so looks like all of us are on the same boat. I still cannot believe, I just didn't notice that collab that Team Russia had, fucking Warcry. We were stressing in 6CC and you guys did that, how could you?
Next
Anyway,
got
and things got mentioned, but I don't want to see this in in front of my screen, so let's move on to the next matchup, which is gonna be Indonesia versus Germany. Germany are gonna be faced with the final boss of 6WC, which is really the best player of the tournament by far. In qualifiers, top 1 by individual. In round of 32, he was the MVP of that round. And even though Germany for seed 15, hear me out, they did really well. They got seed 9 by team stats in round of 32. Getting even a top 1 on DT2, which is very not typical for Team Germany. Looks like Gliding Slime is a really strong mechanical player that we did not expect to perform that crazily, but still they did that. And despite all of that, Germany is gonna be one of the stronger teams. I believe even just comparing those around the 32 stats and qualifiers, you can tell they kind of de-seeded. But when you just look at Indonesia, they have 6WC 1 winner, Syntax Error, they have Emergating, they have Varial and Zerillia, who all three of are super, just super experienced. And even round of 32 stats are just showing us Germany did well, but Indonesia did even better. I'm still gonna be a believer of Team Germany, so I'm gonna. Actually, I'm just not gonna change my match score. 5-2. I believe they can for sure get against Team Indonesia if they are lucky, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't think it is possible to get more points against that of a cracked team. Anyway, my G, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you said most of it. Syntax, Air, Emargating, and specifically Varial and Zerillia, the two SS farmer duo who are like pretty much SS farming these pools, who getting really high AC on every single map. Some unfortunate slider breaks on LSR, which if that happens during the match, then I could see Germany getting more than 1 point. But with players like Gliding Slime, a really good spawn for Germany. They're like the core player of this team, and Germany, they're not a bad roster whatsoever. It's just Indonesia, like you mentioned, is like the final boss, with Philippines being the end game. And I think maybe with like the core of like Hope's Gliding Slime, Lunexia, and then people like Turley, and this whole roster, like it's just a really strong core, but I just don't think Indonesia is a team you can beat. So yeah, I'll change my vote to 5-2. I'll go with you on this one. I'll be believers of the Gliding Slime carry. Sisyphus, what are your thoughts on it? Also, I thought Indonesia was Poland.
Oh my dude. There was upside down Poland, alright. Alright, dude, like in the hemisphere, or like everything's upside down, like over there, like in those upside down Poland. Anyway. Okay, I hate having to say that Germany like is expected to lose here. You see, because the fact like I love this German roster. Like it's so nice on paper. Germany is one of the deepest teams that we have this year, and I just but the thing is that obviously you're against some genuine lowest, or you're just against demons in general, or almost like it's like as was mentioned, Syntax, Emar, Variel. There's not really much you can do against this core of 4 like genuine top level players, like or let me see, because like especially when you look at like Zerillia, like Emar and Variel, like these are 3 players like that you can expect in your average grand finals. You see the front side of Germany, you have some really good names. You have a lot of very, very strong players: Hopes, Catarade, Lunexia, Turley, Toaster. Like, you have very strong names. You're genuinely you're just against some literal demons. They should have been screened. Get these guys out of here. Zerilli is a multi-account. He has been from the beginning. Trust.
Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, matter for another day,
Abs-
another time. That's for the who we think should have been
That's
screen. Before that though, I would like to mention two honorable mentions of this Indonesia team, Oke Riemu and Izaris, who are two really strong tapping players for this Indonesia roster, and I would say that tapping is not Germany's very like they're good at tapping, but I don't think they're stronger than Indonesia. So I think that it's just gonna favor Indonesia so hard here. So yeah, just 5-2 Sisyphus, the sweep. You don't believe in the experienced
five, five one,
Germans.
not 5-1, 5-1.
All
I
right,
won.
believing in the
Germany-
multi accounts.
Okay.
Dude, unfortunately, yeah, I have to.
All
They're not
right.
multis, guys. We're just trolling Philox and take it away.
Please,
Okay.
please take the microphone.
So cannot wait Gliding Slime to play against the world this weekend. But still, match ID 30 is gonna be seen really soon. And this is, oh my god, this is Ukraine versus Kazakhstan, another really close matchup. Might be even closer than Poland versus Canada. And of course, my country. So I will
You're
be
not
biased,
allowed to talk
JK.
here.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk. Yeah, honestly, I would say Maiji take it away first, then Sisyphus, and then I will just finish it all off with my opinion on that matchup.
Yeah, I just like to finish it pretty fast. You look at this Ukraine roster and you see this core of Philoxenia, Sasing, and Sirs. Those who don't know Sasing, probably the best easy player mechanics wise, outside of reading. If you look at their scores, Philoxen mentioned them to me the other day, and I was kind of flabbergasted. And there's other players on this Ukraine team as well, like a ZQ3 and Wannabe Ritsu as well. Wannabe Ritsu doing pretty well in some of these festival events. And I believe that Ukraine have a much stronger core than Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan having good players as well. Ammonium Chloride, or Aaron, as some people know them, being the core player of this team. But in their last match, it wasn't them who was the carry. It was actually Legacy 14 who came out on top on the Kazakhstan match cost. And I think this will be a close one, but I'm gonna have to favor Ukraine 5-3 on this one. That's my vote. Sisyphus, what are you going for here? I see 5, but I don't see a Kazakhstan score.
5-1, I'll be honest. Okay. Full respect to Kazakhstan, or let me see, they have like an absolutely insane core here. Aaron and Ramoshka, like particularly, these are two absolutely insane players. See, especially because of low AR for Ramoshka. Like Ramoshka is a great low AR player, great gimmick player. But the thing is that like for how good that Ramoshka is on low AR, facing an absolutely insane easy player. See, in my opinion, the second best easy player in 6-digit as a whole. Or Sasing, but Sasing does have the highest skill cap out of any easy player in the rank range, and it's not really close in my opinion. Or because this guy plays like 7 or 8 stars with easy, and he gets not like this guy actually gets fairly decent scores. You see, but outside of the gimmick, Philoxenia and Surge particularly, these are two absolute players like that we've seen in countless finals and grand finals, or we see I've teamed with both of them, and they're genuinely insane. I absolutely love this Ukraine roster. On top of the fact that they have Ritsu as well, I don't really see where where Kazakhstan can really get points. Outside of maybe aim, or because the fact that Kazakhstan does have a fairly solid aim roster. Or they have a fairly solid aim roster, so I feel like they can get a point or two, but through and through though, Ukraine just kind of wins on a bit of everything else. We did see that Kazakhstan did beat them on DT, or on DT3 and Free Mod 1, but I really just believe that Ukraine will be able to lock in harder, because of the fact that both Philoxenia and Surge, they both scale insanely well with SRs.
All right then. So you're voting 5-1, and now, ladies and gentlemen, let me let me glaze. And first of all, I just must mention that both Team Ukraine and Team Kazakhstan are, I would say, really similar in terms of their team structure. They have one carry, both of those teams, that everyone else is just is just revolving around. For
Yeah.
Ukraine, it's Philoxenia. He is, yeah, probably the best European six-digit player so far in 6WC. And he's always been getting those top 10 placements in either round of 32 or qualifiers. For Kazakhstan, it's Erongs. A super experienced player, played in 6EC, was one of the best players over there, came back to 6WC here, and those two are definitely gonna have a great rivalry. Regarding the supports of both of the teams are actually quite similar when it comes to just supports and stats. Because, for example, Philoxenia is top 11 in this round, Aranx is top 14 in this round, and then the closest players to them from both of the teams are like around top 60 or top 70, and then it goes down and down. Like there is no one in between that range. So it's really gonna be a carry battle. And in terms of mentality, I think both of the teams are actually quite similar. They all might get really bad when it comes to like losing break points in terms of mentality. For example, you saw Kazakhstan just giving up 2 points against Team Belarus. Even one of them was a protect, and then they almost gave a third point to Team Belarus, just barely winning Hardrock 2 by 60k. For Ukraine as well, just knowing about the insides of the team, it's not like everything is perfect for them as well. So I really don't know how the moral state will yeah, will help both of the teams with that match. But still, I believe it's gonna be pretty close. C7 versus C10 after all. So I will put that to 5-4 actually for Team Ukraine. Even though Erangs is a really strong consistency player, he got top 1 on tiebreaker in round of 32, playing the map for fun, getting over 1 million score. I think when it comes to tiebreaker, Ukraine will still emerge victorious, but this is gonna be one hell of a battle between those two. But yeah, I yapped my guts out, I believe. I didn't even have time to put the score in. But yeah, these are gonna be your predictions for that match.
One
Yeah,
one one
yeah.
thing, just before, I know we were talking about how it's gonna be a battle between the two carries of Philoxenia and Aaron. I would like to mention that this really does depend on how consistent Aaron is, because we did see Aaron wasn't too consistent in the last round, getting lower match costs than Legacy and Swordy. So those are gonna be the two really strong support scores, as well as people like Ramochka on the gimmick and Sosimilo. So I personally think like Ukraine just it's not gonna go as close as some people think, and I'm gonna retract my vote from 5-3 to 5-2, going closer of Ukraine winning a bit faster.
Okay, then. We will see how this friendship rivalry between Philoxenia and Aranx will go. But with that, we are left with our last two matchups finally, and the first one of them that we're gonna cover is gonna be United States versus Brazil. Sisyphus, this is gonna be your time, but first of all, let me and my G talk just a bit about yeah,
Yes.
both of the teams. So I commentated the match of United States versus Team Switzerland. They did amazing. As you can see, two top 1 scores, Nomad 4 and Harrock 1. They did, yeah, they did really well. And on stats of round of 32, they were also really high up, top 4. While on the other hand, Team Brazil, we mentioned that before, but they were seed 15. So, yeah, even though in round of 32 their scores are not looking that bad, just because of the consistency of Team United States, I'm putting yeah, them as a victory for 5-2 actually.
Yeah, I kinda already pre-fired my decision. I'm rooting for this Brazil roster to have a good run this year because they are the reigning champions of 6WC, with that absolute god squad from last year. But unfortunately, United States getting seed 3 while deseeding, not having Jack being one of the main carries of this team, as well as Delete, and also Creep Crafting and Sparkle, aka Light, who just were not able to play properly. They were set up gap during qualifiers, and this team still got seed 3 with those core players not being able to play at their full potential. And unfortunately, I just think that they have a lot more experience over this Brazil roster, with a lot of these players, if not all of them, being new players. You have some of these players on this Brazil roster who were minor league last year on Brazil C, but unfortunately, I just don't think they have the power that this United States roster has. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a sweep here. My Americans, it's not biased. I am American and Canadian. I am both. Sisyphus, you yeah, do your thing.
Take it
Yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah. So as an actual American here, okay. All I'm saying, Brazil 5-0, or we see Pulica's added to make a team. That's but on a serious level though, you see Brazil does have some very strong players here. Bryas, Sepia, Hypervisc, Hotampa, Starkin. Like this is a team that has players, but you're against the United States. You see, in the United States, time and time again, year after year, have shown that that just having a larger amount of players in the country kind of results in having a deeper roster, and we see that here with the United States. Because the fact that we have a lot of demons this year: Sparkle, Minus Delete, Cuckoo, Kiwi, Kalanjack, Creep, like Redacted, Mistra. This is a team full of genuinely insane players, or like an incredibly well-rounded team, except for maybe a very tiny hidden weakness. But beyond that, this team really can do it all, and I honestly don't see where Brazil can really get a point out. Or obviously, because we did see, that Brazil did get a better hidden one, but that's purely because the fact, as Maji said, Creep was setup gapped. Seeing Creep is the main hidden player on this American roster, so I really don't see where Brazil can. Gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to say an American sweep is gonna realistically come here.
I see. Okay then. So 5-0 for both of you, and I will do 5-2. Cause yeah, just remembering how Brya his experience, how Sepia got those top ones on Nomad 1 and Nomad 4. I will still believe in them, but yeah, definitely United States with so many returning players, so many experienced players. I believe this will end up as a victory for them. Also, just okay, everyone who's watching the stream, new 6WC drama just dropped. Zix is a multi. Congratulations, Team Philippines. But yeah, anyway, we
Is this
are.
real?
Unfortunately, this is indeed real. But
Bro, see,
I think let's
guys.
look. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that at the end.
That's a conversation.
Yeah, after the stream anyway.
That's for a different stream.
We have almost managed to finish all of the predictions, but the drama dropped earlier. So yeah, guys, last but not least, our last matchup is gonna be ID 32. This is your Mexico versus Vietnam matchup. The one that I believe is also gonna be super close, because Mexico having those kind of unknown players if you look at them, but then you realize how strong they performed on those qualifiers. Raspit, Heide Essay, and Jish, they all got in top 20 by individual stats. So those three are the core players. Then they have support like Zoakage and Kyura. But when you look at Team Vietnam, who are seed 11, they're actually not weak at all. They have My Angel Chino, the most experienced Vietnamese player on the team. You have Festive Axolotl, who is the carry of Team Vietnam, performing crazily in those qualifiers. You have Rene One, and yeah, just those three are also a great, a great trio that can definitely bring some upsets. And looking at the stats, what the hell? Vietnam got 4 times top 2 on maps, and none of that maps were played by Team Mexico. Team Mexico, on the other hand, are a more of a consistency, raw mechanics team. And on those maps, they did really well. But then, if you just take a look at those hiddens, you will realize that not everything is that well covered by them. So I definitely think Vietnam has a chance of making an upset, but just considering the consistency of Team Mexico and the fact that we haven't even seen all of them playing in 6WC so far, because hear me out, they only played quals with like 3 or 4 people, so I'm pretty sure they have still some things to show to us. Vietnam, I wish you best of luck, but I believe this is gonna be 5-3 in favor of Team Vietnam. My G, what do you think?
Yeah, so we don't talk about Mexico being a 7-man roster because we love Osu staff screening, multi accounts getting past the screening phase, Kira, unfortunate now, Mexico being a 7-person roster. But I still think that this is favored in the favor of Mexico. Mainly because of these top 3 carries being players like Haid, SA, Raspiet, and Jish, Jich, 0407, and as well as people like Zoe Akage and as well. Like this Mexico roster, I think all around a much stronger team, but I think Vietnam is not a team to look down on as well, with people like Salt, Ranokio, people like and people like Festive Axolotl. Like these are some really strong core players on Vietnam. But I think Mexico, I think these 3 consistent Mexico carries who are all round strong on every single skill set, I think they will be able to dominate this match, but it's gonna go to TB. I don't know why I'm saying dominate when I'm putting 5-4, but Vietnam, you guys can definitely take this as well. Sisyphus, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so very much non-biased. Very much non-biased. With me, being Mexican inherently. Very non-biased. Mexico. All right. Um, so okay, but on a literal level, though, I do believe that Mexico is honestly going to kind of crush this, or obviously because of the fact that when you look at Vietnam, right, they do have Chino, who is a great low SR hard rock player, or he's good at like hard rock, good at DT. This guy can honestly play the game a lot. Oh, I put it backwards, huh? Oh, yeah, I just realized. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it backwards. Never mind. But like they have a really good player overall, or I mean, just same with Festive Axolotl, same with Reno. You see, but like when you look at Mexico, right? Right. I'm as mentioned, Jish, Eraspiet, Isa Esse, like you have very good players that are genuinely that are, in my opinion, see, like they're just a decent bit better than the Vietnamese carries, and we kind of see that, like in last week's stats here, where every single map, where Mexico came out on top. And you see him, and just Mexico in general, in an absolutely amazing country. I am definitely not biased when I say this. So all I'm saying, Mexico 5-0, maybe 5-1 if Vietnam gets lucky. Viva Mexico, I believe.
All right. That's interesting. I honestly didn't expect that guess, but all right. We'll see how this goes. Maybe Sisyphus was right. Who knows? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the end of predictions for round of 16, and we're finally done with those. So, Maiji, Sisyphus, do you guys have anything last things to say before I finish the stream?
Nothing at
I
all.
like to go back on the Zish drama.
Okay. No, 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 chat. Let's. Okay, fine, fine. What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
I hope
Let's see.
Indonesia wins despite them having more multi accounts.
and,
Yo, okay. Crazy.
and then all I'm saying, Izix is down, or there's only like 3 more left. All right. The Philippines are still gonna be good.
+4.
+4.
They still got
All
like
right.
Yeah, gang.
they still got like 3
All
more multis left in there.
all
Like
jokes all
gotta
jokes
sift them out.
aside, you know, who could have seen it coming? It is the 6-digit community. I hope by the end of 6WC we will have more players screened out of the tournament than we did during the initial screening phase. Philoxen, you close it out, man. Thank you
Okay,
for
fine,
having me.
guys. Yeah, you can discuss the drama in general chat in our 6-digit World Cup 2025 Discord server. But for now, we're gonna be finishing round of 16 prediction stream. Thank you all guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll most likely also hold the quarterfinals and semifinals predictions as well. So yeah, guys, keep track of things. There will be announcements. I believe the casters are gonna be changing, so I'm not sure, but this might be Myges and Sisyphus' last commentary of those predictions. So say thank you to them,
Better
because
not be.
definitely was a pleasure commentating with you both. Yeah, but for now, this has been it. This is 6WC staff team. In the commentary booth, you had me, Philoxen, Maiji, and Sisyphus, who did a great job in commentating and broadcasting as well. For Maiji, all of those interviews, was part of his job. So maybe some of the interviews that you watched were done by him. Crazy support. And yes, Sisyphus finally showing up as a commentator, and I'm looking forward to commentating more with you, man.
Yes, I would love to.
Yep, no worries. And as a streamer, you had Frauen, having all that OBS setup and the overlay as well. Thank him. The sheet was made by Perry Crayola. Shout outs to her. I believe I mentioned everyone. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna be signing off. Goodbye, chat, and have a nice day.